Who is the best deck in Stoichiea? Who is the most unique deck in Cardfight Vanguard? Obviously it's me, Estacion. As you know, I'm the only deck in this format who can stack plant tokens into gauge like V-Series Tachikaze. I actually was the best deck in format for just 2,000 yen, and Miltai called me a format warping meta threat. Clearly I am the best there is. There is no other deck in this format who can do anything that I do. Like, come on, am I even up for compare? What?
Wait, you can't do that. I'm the progenitor. I'm the big bad wolf with the big bad rose that protects all the plant tokens behind my start. I'm the one who thought the idea. You are the copycat.
No. Let's get something straight. You've been irrelevant since birth. You have been out for 3 years and you haven't won a single event. I have destroyed entire Japanese capitals. You have done shit. So get out. You're not relevant, man. This is for actual good decks only. Goodbye.
But I'm the one who thought the idea. I'm the one who puts all the plants behind the center back row. You can't do this to me.
Nah, they're mine now. Good luck, buddy.
Just you wait, Estacion. I will be back, stronger than ever. You will tremble before my mind.
Wait, hold on. Is that a defensive skill? Okay, I'm out. Good luck. I'm going back to the trial deck box. Have fun, buddy.
Now I finally overcome you. Let us now show us the true power of completely unaffected number 000.
And cut. Hey, what's going, guys? I'm Rizal4 here. Today we are back to do another Disney story of Meta and the Beast. I guess that's the most relevant thing to call it. So yeah, Grandfia. What the hell is this? So it's a deck that's been out since, you know, DZBT09. No. DBT09. Sorry, I'm thinking of Platina as well. DBT09. And for the longest time, this deck has been made off as a complete meme. People thought this deck was irrelevant. People thought that this deck was just not good at all. And they were kind of right. The deck wasn't good on release, but the deck did get some pretty good cards down the line, right? It did get stuff like this, and then it did get stuff like this, which does make it pretty good actually, but not good enough because Stoichiea either had a lot more meta decks that were faster, or could stall, or could just OTK better, and it's been pretty bad for Grandfia. In 2025, in the beginning of 2025, we got Estacion from the Skyride manga. I still love this guy, but he kind of just did the whole plant token things again, and he had a blast token which, you know, made stuff untargetable, which if you know anything about Grandfia, if this thing dies you lose the game. Like, so that sucked. But Kidani heard our cries, our sobering wet cries, and it gave us a tournament promo to errata that. Like, he straight up printed a card that said, I'm sorry, we didn't think about this in the design space, we solved the problem. And then they were like, you know what, we'll just give a new form. So yeah, and not just a new form for you, for your token, cause yeah, we now print token cross rights in Cardfight Vanguard. Why, I don't know, but we have it now. So yeah, we are now gonna talk about this deck. I honestly think Grandfia is one of the most unique decks in Vanguard because I've never seen a deck under 2,000 yen that has a 98k rear guard. So yeah, but okay, let's get into the deck profile.
Alright. You gonna introduce me?
So what shall we start with first?
Okay, so first of all, let's start with the right line, of course, and the noblesse rules.
So here's the right line.
Young Ling Grandfia, the grade 0, then Future Suzerain Grandfia, and Gigius Wolf Grandfia, and then Lavian Lord Grandfia. So I'll cover all these three in circulation because they are pretty easy to understand. Future Suzerain, when rolled upon my Genius Wolf Grandfia, lets you call a plant token.
I mean, if you don't know what a plant token is, you shouldn't be here.
And Genius Wolf Grandfia, it checks for Future Suzerain Grandfia in the soul, then if you have plant token, you can write for free. The grade 3 grade, the red.
Yeah, so instead of being like Roro which generates tokens, or like Juicy Fruity, who also just generates 2 tokens, why I don't know, Grandfia actually gives you a +1.
Yeah.
Like an actual solid +1 by just letting you keep the card in your hand, which is like
you need
that's interesting.
You need every single thing you can
You'll
get.
need it, yeah. So yeah, and now we have to talk about what does the grade 3 do.
Okay,
Right?
so act once per turn, so plus one, you call the Noblesse Rose, then all your plant tokens become a plant gauge and you put it face up into this guy.
So it's an egg skill, right? So you can do it anytime during your egg phase, you just turn it into a gauge and then put it underneath the plant token. This is very different from Estacion when the blast token comes out as a result of the right line, so you only get one. And the issue with that is that if this dies, you lose the game, right? But the good thing about Grandfia is even though this is easy to die, you can just call it back. Albeit it does cost a lot of soul, but like it's okay. It's a necessary evil for you to play the game, right?
Okay, so before I cover the second effect, I need to cover the Noblesse Rose itself. So this is a very good way to ensure we understand everything about this card. So first of all, continuous on the rear. If you have the Vanguard with Grandfia, of course, in the center back, you can only move this in the center back row itself, and you cannot move in any other space. That's number one thing it is. So you can't just call this one, then spawn the second Noblesse Rose.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that. The second effect is that it gains 5,000 power for each of the plant gauges is stacked. So that every plant token you also substitute gain becomes a plant gauge, no matter what.
Yeah, so it's a continuous effect.
Yeah, so if you use, like, for example, Rosarium to spawn more plant gauges, you can just throw them in. Also, in case you ever want to pay a cost that requires retiring rear guards, you may pay with the plant gauge
You can just detach your main instead.
So, for example, Rosarium Fairy, you detach one to gain two. That's it.
Cool. But the downside is that you can't call plant tokens anymore, right? They
Yeah.
just automatically become gauge, right?
Yes, correct.
So yeah, but the thing about Estacion's one is Estacion's one only targets up to 3 as an act phase skill, right? Whereas this is a continuous skill. So again, it does depend on what you prefer, but like obviously we're making an argument for Grandfia being better because there are some pretty shining flaws with Estacion, which is necessary because Estacion is overall still stronger, but it is pretty unique that for a deck that came out like 3 years ago, it's somehow more flexible and more survivable when it comes to its basic mechanic. So yeah.
Okay, now I cover the second effect of Grandfia to put everything in perspective. Then I can cover as to what is wrong with the deck as a whole. Like, what's so good about it and what's so bad about it. So, when this unit attacks, you may... at the end of the battle, that this unit attack, this card has many gauges you want. Plant gauge and Noblesse Rose.
Okay, and Noblesse Rose, interesting.
From 1 to 5.
Okay.
From 1 to 5. Then after that, you choose one of your units and give it 5,000 power until end of turn. One of your rear guards. If you shoot discard 3 or more, you stand that unit.
Wait, this is reverse Vernacator?
Yeah.
Damn!
So the reason you're stacking so much from the gauge in the first place is for this win condition.
So you just pay 3 guys and you get a free restand?
Yes.
Wow. So pretty good.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about both the good and bad about this Noblesse Rose. In the first place, to put in perspective why this deck was able to... What's so good about this deck, but what's so bad about this deck? Right, what's the Achilles heel? So the first obvious Achilles heel that I need to talk about is Retire. As pointed out by Armin004, when your Noblesse Rose die, everything's gone.
You lose everything. All your hard work just goes down the drain.
You chuck everything out. So you stack 6 gauge, too bad, sorry, bye, gone, goodbye. The second big problem as per normal is that you don't have plant tokens. Now, the thing about plant tokens is that you always get to rush with it. So the good part of Grandfia is from going up from 1 to 2, you have a lot of rush options actually.
Because it's like here.
Yeah. So this is a very, very strong inbuilt thing. And once
you can convert your rush into stall and power.
And once you get the ball rolling, you literally can push the opponent, and if you push the opponent into high enough damage, they will be in serious danger. Because this card can just blast 5 tokens
and then a rear guard plus 25.
Yes.
That is really good.
That's really good. So the rush option, the power level, and everything is good. The problem, however, is that's all it does. That's all it does. Rush and rush and rush and rush. And to make it easier to understand, I need to bring up a card that has been infamously popping up in many of our Stoichiea deck profiles. And that is none other than 4 copies of Horror Mushroom.
Yeah, but this guy is just moving to the soul, call 2 tokens lol. If you have a great trade, greater Grandfia, one of your units gain 5, which is okay, which is strange because most people actually forget that skill is there. Right? Like an extra 5k, come on, and it fixes the soul issue of Stoichiea as we've already discussed, and it gives you a column, so like yeah.
Okay. So to be first of all, I need to talk about some of the other decks that use it before. So for example, use it for rush. resource and a lot of stuff as well. Roa use it for power gain and additional soul as well, which allow it to push even further. This will be further given more heights when the flash bomb was released eventually, correct?
Yep.
And then you have Claudine, who needs 8 rear guards to
do anything, yeah.
to fully power up. And this gives it 2 free rears just by calling it itself, which is really, really good.
It converts 1 into 2.
And it's also plant token, which is something Claudine also works. Finally, you have the new guy, Estacion,
Who converts 2 into 1 gauge.
Yes.
No, 3 into 1. No, it converts 1 rear guard to 1 gauge, but it can convert 3 in a turn. And that's it.
Yes. So a lot of the other decks, they use it for soul, they use it for power, they use it for draw, and Grandfia is soul and rush, soul and rush, soul and rush, soul and rush, which should tell you the big issue with this deck itself. All it does is just rush, 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 and you stack all these plant gauges, and you do nothing with it. You
Okay.
to power and rush.
Do they solve this issue down the line?
Yeah, they will address this. We will talk about that now, in fact.
Alright.
Now we talk about the grade 3. We play 1 Levian Lord Grandfia,
That's
and yeah,
Just 1?
yes, because we're
Alright.
now playing the new form. 3 Ladian Lord
Radiant Lord. Granfia Julament.
Julament. So,
Oh wow, this is a very slim deck. That's it?
yes,
I love it. It's all aggro all over again.
yes. So now, Ladian Lord is a very strange card. I will talk about why. So first of all, when you write this on the Levian Lord Grandfia, you
Which is
activate
this one.
you activate Persona, right? Then you call Noblesse Rosa Rosa, and you convert all the existing Noblesse Rose and with all your plant tokens on rear into gauges. All of them become gauges.
So basically, if you already have an existing guy, you just exist on top of it.
Yeah, basically.
That's hilarious.
At the end of your
That's right.
also it will gain all the skills of this guy itself. So you gain all these skills
Permanently?
until end of the turn.
Oh, okay.
Because at the end of the turn, you basically you write Levian Lord Grandfia as press,
Okay.
and then you put this into your gauge. Plant gauge onto your Noblesse Rose.
So it is a 1 turn cross persona, right? And then it copies the skills, and then after that it goes into the plant gauge.
Yeah.
It ends up just turning itself into gauge.
Okay, so previously,
Oh, that's interesting. I've never thought of that.
before I forget, I want to cover this card up. We are not running this in the deck anymore, which is Unwavering Meaning Yolanda. So to put in perspective with this Noblesse Rosa Rosa as well. So first of all, previously, what Grandfia players did was we couldn't really take advantage of the resource over here fully, as I mentioned before. Other decks could do it, but we couldn't.
Okay.
So Yolanda was one of that hot fix that we tried to do, which is to stack 2 gauge to draw 1 card. Yeah, just to gain more utility. we play a card like this just to gain more utility. Now, however, the new Noblesse Rosa Rosa will do something else with it. So, like the Noblesse Rose, as long as you need to have the Great Tree Grandfia to gain all the effects, and also, just like this one, it treats itself like the Noblesse Rose token. So this is the part where it allows the whole entire line of attacks over here, where the Grandfia Ladian Lord, Granfia Julament, takes up a Noblesse Rose token specifically. He mentions Noblesse Rose token. So this is the naming that's important. Now, everything else is the same. He gains 5,000 power for each plant gauge. You also substitute any cost as well. Every plant token you gain becomes a plant gauge. And the last effect, when your Vanguard is attacked, you discard as many plant gauges as you want. Any plant gauges and Noblesse Rose gauge from it. Choose one your Vanguard, and it gains 5,000 power for each one you discard until end of battle.
Oh,
This is a very, very, very powerful defensive skill.
so you get to keep the token cross, right, for some reason.
Yes.
But at that cost, by you having that many plant tokens engaged, you now just convert all of your past plant tokens that you don't use for the offensive blast into shield.
Yes. This is a good one because
Wow, that's pretty good.
okay, previously, I'll explain all the advantages. First of all, this deck has absolutely no shield. This year's.
I mean, it is a rush that, as you mentioned.
Yes, it's a rush as you mentioned. So every single card that you see over here is 10k, 5k, 5k, no case,
No kid.
5ks, 5ks. Yeah, you see the problem here. They are all shield.
They're all just
cards.
rush pieces,
They're all
right?
just
You don't
rush-
actually have anything of large shield value.
So a fact that you can use this to save all the pieces that you need to realistic haul is really, really good.
That is interesting.
The second part is, of course, is the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, now Grandfia do something other than rush.
That's really cool.
Now what's the downside? Either right.
You lose the guy, yeah.
No.
Because at the end of the turn it goes back to the gauge.
No. I mean, so is the issue. I'll mention why a little later, but you need to write the guy.
Right, you do need to open it.
So-
and go on turn 4. Like this only appears on turn 4.
Making this a very, very polarizing card, because the problem with this card is that now it feels like a card, I should say, where it comes too late
Yeah.
when you need it, and when you actually need it, it never comes.
Yeah.
Because either you go first and then you already killed the guy,
Right.
or you go second and you're already getting your ass whooped.
That
And,
is true.
and then you lose all your pieces before this guy even comes to play, and it's too late. You lose the game already.
Well, I mean that's what future support can solve, right?
Yeah, I hope so. But anyways, in the meantime, let's talk about now, the present. What are we going to do to kind of solve this issue?
Okay.
So now let's move on to our Great Deuce.
Alright.
Our Great Deuce,
We have one copy of the Genius Wolf
Grandfia.
Grandfia from the right deck.
Twin Class for survivability.
That makes sense. Yeah.
For friendly broccoli,
Freddy Broccoli is just a Vibatsuka clone. He just says when placed with a plant token, CB1 draw 1.
token.
Oh, a token, sorry. CB1 draw 1. And then after that, his second skill is that continuous on the Graveyard Circle or Guardian Circle. If you have a plant token, he gets 5k power, 5k shield. So he's just quick stats for all. Like, you just love this guy.
Yeah. 3 Sirambo.
See, Rumble is just a gun cycler. Again, you don't really need to use the call skill, I think. The revive back, the add back to hand skill
It's
from
good.
Persona.
It's good.
It's alright, but like mostly just for the gun cycle skill.
Yeah. 2 Last Impact.
Last impact is your 15k body with boost, and it does give you a draw with soul, so I guess it
And
helps.
Ace Unit.
Ace Unit is just peak aggression, as we've covered before on this channel. It's just a good card. You just play it because it's good.
I will be really honest, I know some of you are gonna rush in the comments and talk about Rosarian Fairy, but I will just say this first, you need subhealers. You do need them because
Yeah.
especially going first.
Yeah, because you won't always open a Rosarian Fairy.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it's just rush.
Yeah.
The whole day is rush. And we can't stop rushing. We have more rush. In the Grade 1 segment, we have one copy of the Grade 1 Grandfia,
Future Suzerain Grandfia.
right? And then after that, we have more rush. We have 4 Perfect Guards, the only non-rush card in this deck. 4 Rosarium. This is your next Leonon best deck in format, so let's make sure you're all acquainted with it. 4 copies of Darien. Darien is a similar role to this guy. Right, in the sense that they are part of the rush, but they also give you some drawback return. Darien gives you a draw for CB, this gives you a draw for Soul Blast. So the idea is that when you're doing your aggression, you can still make back your hands somewhat, but it's all 1-to-1, so it's not too great. But it does help because it is a free token, right? So like,
Yeah.
you're not going to say no to that. And of course for Mushroom, we are not covering this card. You should already know it by now.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
For
our
sure.
brand new tournament promo that it's not brand new, but it's new enough. And most people don't actually know it exists, so I think we'll spend more time on this guy.
Alright.
This is
For Shower Tulip. Shower Tulip has this very interesting effect. So, on rear or on drop, act Soul Blast 1 and perform one of the following effects, as long as you have a Noblesse Rose token.
okay.
Either A, you put this as a face-up gauge, or B, if you did not return cards to your deck this turn, you return this guy to the bottom of your deck and place the top 3 cards of your deck as plant gauges for your Noblesse Rose itself. The second skill is that as long as this card is a face-up plant gauge, it gives the whole entire blast token text to the Noblesse Rose itself, which is unaffected by the opponent's card effects itself. Period.
So they literally just recreated Blast.
You wanna see even better?
What? It's even better?
You wanna know why? Because I
Please
forgot to
share.
mention that the Noblesse Rose continuously gains 5k for each plant token that is text. unto itself. Meaning, the minion needs...
Which means you can't attack it normally because it has at least 5 tokens as gauge, so it's a 25k body. Whereas Estacion,
It's always 5k.
it's always 5k. Wait, this deck is actually better than Estacion. No way, wait, I did not think of that. Okay, I'm very sorry, Draconic Kaiser Vermilion. We have to send you home, buddy.
Okay. Then last one on this, the last zero is a demerit. It's a detrimental one. So when
Okay.
you discard as a plant gauge, you must mine it face up.
I mean, that's fair, right? I mean, you can't have infinite plant gauge, come on. That would be a bit too unfair there, right?
Yeah, but
So yeah, this is fair. I'm okay. Like you know how some Yu-Gi-Oh cards say, oh, when this unit leaves the field, banish it instead. I'm okay with that.
yeah.
I'm okay with that. But this is a really good promo. I'm surprised they printed such a good card. I may have to read this again after this video. Alright. Last but not least, our great zeros. Where's our zeros? Zeros. Here.
Young
so here's Young Lord Ling Grandfia. This is our great zero starter. Again, you should already know this one. 1 OT. We need to stay alive. We play 4 draw this time. 4 draw because this deck, like I said, it's a pure rush deck, so you will actually just rush. You
But-
don't need to worry about fronts because you do have enough power, so you do need more pieces instead. We play 4 heal. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this is.
I will say all the names.
And I don't know who this is. Do you want to say? I don't know who this is.
Yukina, Saya, Rinko, Lisa. There we go. The whole Rosali band, except for Akko.
If this video gets 10,000 views, I will do an hour marathon where I learn every girl's name. Okay? Is that fair? 4 soul crit, because Grandfia needs soul, as we mentioned previously, so you will need this one, I'm sorry. And then just 3 more crit to round out the lineup.
Yeah.
Very simple. So yeah, that wraps up our Granfia Julament deck profile. Yeah, honestly, I am.
I'll say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, where do I begin? Okay, as a whole, I like this deck, alright. I really like this deck. The idea that it had is really interesting. It's really, really fun. But the way it was executed over the years left a lot to be desired, I would say. I just didn't like that this new form had a very good idea as a whole to fix the deck's problem. And Nobleza Rosa is a very good card, don't get me wrong, but
I mean, it's a token card. That is pretty insane support considering, you know, it's a token.
but I just didn't like how late it is to get to it. Because otherwise, Grandfia, if once we get a right promo, I'll say this first, I think Grandfia is in a very solid position as a rogue deck. It's got a lot of pieces that it now needs to do what it really, really wants to do now. This time. As per now. And this promo especially is one of the most helpful cards of all time for it.
So, do you think this deck will get more support in the future to be good? Because I do think that this deck does still need a bit more. But
Yeah.
I do think it's pretty good now, right?
It needs a bit more in the sense that currently the ideas are a bit messy till now.
Okay.
Let's be very honest with that. I mean, you got what? You got a guy that draws for Soul Blast, you got Soul In, you have this guy that gives Gauge for free, but then it also comes out to CB1, and then you have this,
Who's just Leonor Wincon.
Leonon Minhorn. I mean, to be fair, unlike Leonon, this one does have a better back row booster
Right,
copy.
right.
And this card, I mean, it's a bit of a messily executed support as
I
well.
think if they can find a way to add the Granfia Julament from either the gauge or like deck, add back the hand, and then you can loop it, I think it'll be good, don't you think?
I need a more consistent way to write it and
Right.
get the Noblesse Rose early in situations where I do need it, especially going second, because now this deck is locked in a very weird way where
Right,
wants to
you
go-
can get rushed out if you don't, yeah. Okay, but you know what? I think this is a pretty good note to end it on. It is a very interesting deck. I think I've learned so much just by going through this deck with you. Like, I'm genuinely impressed. Thank you so much for showing it to me. I mean, last time we did a Flightboat video and people actually got excited for Flightboat, right? Like clearly you cooked some weird stuff here and it's very appreciated here. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. I am very excited for Grandfia's future support. I think anything to help these two specifically will send this deck through the roof.
Yes.
But like as of now, I think it's alright.
I think I want to say this, that don't underestimate what this card can do. I know some people saw this online and said like, what does this change? You know, it doesn't really give it more draw, it doesn't help it anything, but after playing it for so long with this form, I just realized this card is actually really good. It just needs to get it
You just need to get it. Yeah.
earlier. Just a bit to get it
If
earlier.
it's one turn earlier, I'm pretty sure it's devastating, right? If they find a way to do that.
Yeah.
Alright.
It will make Grandfia. It won't make Grandfia meta, but it'll make him really, really good.
Playable, competitive.
But
Alright. Thank you all so much for watching. I see you all next time. Take care. And that has been it for our DZ10. Wow, we hit 2 digits already?
yeah.
Oh, that was fast. But yeah, I don't know if this is the last DZ video or second last, but it's one of our last few. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. Oh wait, no. I think I'm missing out Jajul. Okay, alright, guess I have to do that. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Peace be with ones.